Wearing the toque today purely for the Instagram comment section engagement. Not really, the butthurt comments are actually kind of very annoying, but over at press day and need something to hold the microphone and also don't want to be pressing into the brim of my hat. And after living in Florida, I kind of miss being warm sometimes. And being brave enough to go straight from 185 to 225 can only mean one of two things. Either today's gonna go really good, or I'm gonna fall flat on my face. I mean, pretty okay. So 255, and anything more than a single here will be a rep PR, so let's try to do more than a single. Also, gonna go safety first so I don't break a bar or something.
Come on.
Very glad I put the safeties up, even though I didn't have to use them. But that is what I'd consider good enough, especially considering that with cranking up the diet, that is rapidly approaching being a bodyweight triple. So, yeah. And I figure we'll do a little bit of learning from last week and run Z presses instead of machine press as our secondary. Yeah, that's hard. And the magic of these is that they prevent a guy from just assholing and leaning back, because if you lean back like an asshole on a Z press, you're going to fall over. So it makes it a lot more delty to squeeze through the top end, at least in my experience. Yeah, that got hard quick. Gonna pull a 5 off for set 2. A little better, still freaking terrible. And if my overhead press doesn't get worse over the next 3 or 4 weeks of the weight loss, we'll know that those are definitely worth keeping in the plan. But what is definitely staying in the plan is more of these silly things. And I don't know if it's gonna happen today, but I definitely want to start thinking about putting some weight on my body weight. Should not have said that I'm thinking of putting weight on, because wow, that felt clunky. But I mean, it feeling clunky, I don't think that's a bad thing. I just need to make it the goal to make it less clunky over the next couple sets. Okay, Operation Be Less Pathetic shall commence. Okay, maybe I'm being hyper optimistic, but that actually felt pretty damn solid on the range of motion front. And like, even if that last one was okay, gonna crank this one bodyweight again and save adding weight for a future week, because even if like I was getting there, it didn't feel super confident down there, so gonna try to build some extra confidence. Actually, yeah, I'm pretty freaking okay with that. I might go grab a plate. And like, if it feels good, we might as well go straight to trying to rub something off again, right? Yeah, I think I can be pretty okay with that. And delt time. Don't listen to me because my shoulders are small, but if I'm trying to make delt raises feel a lot more productive, it's a lot better if I'm slow out of the bottom and really trying to make sure that I'm not having a bunch of momentum when it gets the meat of the contraction. If I'm just like swinging them through, contraction doesn't feel quite as gnarly at the top, but if it's slow and steady out of the bottom end, they get really nasty, really freaking quick. And I don't know, this is just a good superset and makes it not take a lot of time to get a lot of pump. And gonna go rears. I think we're gonna go bilateral for no reason other than I can't remember what I did last week and I feel like going bilateral today. Yeah, one more. And then I'm gonna immediately contradict myself with some swingy ass dumbbell cleans. And the reason this works being still swingy is that I'm like swinging through the delts, but the contraction is kind of coming from the upper trap leading it and then lower trap finishing the flip around. That is really meaty, and that's where I'm trying to put the work here. So the swing works for enhancing that purpose. And I came over here to get some space to do these, but now there's like 17 people all within dumbbell accidentally slapping me in the face radius. So I'm going to do my best not to let go right now. And now for my favorite part of every Monday training session, trying to act like biceps are serious business. I mean, I am taking them seriously. I swear I'm working hard. It's just hard to vlog them seriously. It just feels so silly to making deep eye contact with a camera while flexing my little tiny muscles. I'm just gonna go till it gets hard, which is happening sooner than I thought it would. I wish that was straining for dramatic effect. It really wasn't. Woo! And I don't know, more serious business, cable curls. Trying to get a little bit of a punch up at the top. Get that shoulder action going as well. Because the biceps, they cross the elbow and the shoulder. You can kind of make them shorten at both ends with a little bit of at the top of your rep. Yeah. And time to risk it for the biscuit with some incline stretchy stretch dumbbell curls. And I mean, like, the only thing I'm really at risk of here is just getting strong bicep tendons, and I'm very okay with that risk to reward ratio of these guys. And we're just going back and forth, side to side, till it gets hard for 3, maybe 4 rounds. Yeah, that was a bicep pump, and I almost pinched my wiener on the incline bench seat there, so I'm very, very glad that that didn't happen. I think at this point, I just straight up refuse to use any tricep extension that isn't spherical. And I think I tried turning that into a reel like 5 times, but I got fucked up the camera angle, so we got a lot of good tricep work in there, so yay. I think for abs, we're gonna have to remember that sharing is caring. Hey, Justine, you good if we share the bench? Can we share? Yeah? You sure? You're not going to embarrass me in front of YouTube? And the big benefit of sharing on these is that there's enough counterweight that I can hopefully load it and not have the bench flip over. Holy. Freaking nasty on adductors and hip flexors. Last set, digging in, big sumo deadlifts incoming, hopefully. Yeah, so freaking gross. And that is that. And I'm not sure if I'm just like delirious from the hunger or not, but I'm almost like feeling invigorated. Like these Mondays are getting so freaking fun to progress overhead, and the diet's at the point where it's not just like miserable. Like it still is kind of like, this isn't fun, but I'm finally starting to like look in the mirror and see progress, and like looking at the scale, it finally feels like progress is actually happening. And like I know that progress obviously has happened to get to this point, but at first when like you're looking in the mirror and like you're still fat and like the scale's coming down slowly and there's not a ton off, like it doesn't feel like a lot is happening. But I think I'm kind of cresting that hill now where it's like, okay, I see the light at the end of the tunnel, shit's happening, all we got to do is keep sticking it out, and that is making it freaking fun. And I'm excited to keep going with this. And I think too, like running the community now, that's also getting me a little bit more fired up, because a lot of times with some of the stuff I do, like on Instagram with AMAs and like with a lot of the reels I post, it almost like seems like I'm screaming into the void, because like I'll post something that's I think is really good and like really impactful, then I'll get a bunch of comments that just don't get it at all, and then I'm like, oh, that's sad. But then like having the community, it's like, holy shit, there's people that are here that actually are paying attention and want to listen, want to learn, and want to help others. Like that gets me more fired up and like makes me kind of feel better about the overall mission. So appreciate the hell out of everyone that's in there so far. And if you are remotely interested, I mean, I'm biased, but I would recommend checking it out. So peace out, guys. See you in there. If I don't see you in there, I'll see you back here on tomorrow probably. But peace out. Have a good rest of your night.